So we're back with Damian Spaulding.
Yeah.
From Damian Spaulding School of Music.
You got it.
2 studios in Simcoe County. Wow.
Yeah, growing quickly. You know, we're at the stage now where I'm looking at training other teachers now, even remotely. I teach online because I'm getting now individuals from California, some interest even from England that are wanting to learn through my method. So we'll see how far and quickly this goes.
So just before we went to break, you were talking about learning music.
Yeah.
By ear,
That's
because
right.
I'm
Yes.
taking music lessons. I'm not doing that well, not because my piano teacher is not wonderful. She's the best piano teacher I've ever had.
I'm just playing. Go on. Yeah.
And when I was telling her about you coming on the show, and she went, "Oh,
how could he?
how could he do that?" What do you mean? He teaches people to learn by ear.
Well, when you think about it, it's the most natural way to approach anything. When the first piano or guitar was built, I'm sure the fellow banged together the instrument, threw in some catgut strings, and said, "Oh, I know exactly how I'm going to write this out on a sheet of paper and show a friend." You know,
Right.
It was more so they put the guitar together, they threw it across the campfire, they made some noise, and then they figured, how are we going to put this in a way in which someone else can play it later, before the days of recorded medium. Now, we have recorded medium. I can track something on my guitar today and have it heard by the world tomorrow, and they'll duplicate it. You know, arguably, the days of sheet could somewhat be numbered, as it's just so instantaneous. There still is great advantage when you want to replicate something verbatim that was done, whatever, long after my life. To have it done in sheet will preserve it. But to learn an instrument first by sheet binds you to becoming really a high-level typist. I see it, I play it. 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 And you don't really get a chance to say, well, I sense the color green right now. And if I play this chord, it's going to give me that color. To think of it from that process and that way, that's really where we need to go, in my mind, with music.
I thought learning, though, by sight was like the mathematical and the patterns in the music, and like I always thought that learning by ear was something that was innate. Someone either has that gift or you don't have it, and all the rest of us poor saps have to learn with you. Have to learn by sight.
The more I play, the more I practice, the more I work at it, the more naturally talented I become. You know, people hear me play now. It's like, oh my gosh, you're such a natural.
Why don't you show us?
I can play. Show me. Show me. I'll play something in a minute.
Okay.
But given, anything can be learned, really, because if you hear something in your mind, I wrote a poem many moons ago. It was just a little 3-line thing. It says, "The piano's my canvas, my finger's my brush, my soul paints the picture." And in essence, here I am now with this 88-key monstrosity of possibilities, and I have this emotional picture I'm trying to portray. And I just don't know how to use my brushes. What do I do? Fingers in this order? What do I do to get that out? See, we all have, I can't tell you the number of adults. I love teaching adults. They're fast learners. They learn faster than kids most of the time. It's really, really wild. But in all honesty, because when I teach a young child, I'm partially teaching them how to learn as the same as what to learn. Whereas I teach an adult, adults already know how to learn. I can give you a list of 10 things to remember. You'll remember it and execute that. I just need to give you the process. So in my mind then, I'm just taking an individual that if you can hear and understand music, if you have music from within you, it's just a matter of translating that through the right strokes onto that canvas. And anyone can do that. And the more you do that, the more innate it will become.
Well, what about middle C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, and all that, learning those chords?
Right.
That's
the foundation.
Isn't that fundamental?
That's fundamental,
music? Yeah.
And you can even get more fundamental, A440, and get the A hertz and sine waves and harmonic partials. You can go, but we all get those fundamentals are important. But it's then what do you build beyond those fundamentals? If it is C the letter C, play the letter C. C the letter D, play the letter D. Or if this is the perfect fifth from C and the major third from, it's great. But how does that make sense to beyond that? Right? So instead, say modern music. There's a really interesting group, the Axis of Awesome. They come up with a little ditty where in about 5 minutes they go through 40 songs that all have the same 4 chords in it. Mm-hmm. So really, if you play those 4 chords, you can play 40 songs theoretically. Well, if you can walk things from that process, why are you learning note by note 100 notes in a row to figure out what one song is when you can understand the foundation of everything and then play everything? So it's kind of turning music on its head, and that's how I taught myself. It's how can I start at the end and work my way backwards? And by doing that, we get a lot further faster. It's not, well, I know you really want to play that song, but you can't play that song until you play these 18 songs in between.
Yeah, I have friends over the years that, played by ear, and you'd say, oh, how does it go? And you go, whatever. You whistle the tune or you hum it, and they can go, and then they just go with it.
Right, right, right.
And meanwhile, I'm learning and I'm following the music and going.
Yes, but it's pattern recognition, it's auditory recognition. In the same way, you can probably hear your voice and your name called in a crowd better than I could. And I can hear my name called amidst a crowd better than you could, because I'm now trained for my name throughout my life. If I can hear the same, a whistled note or a chord amidst a massive orchestration, a piccolo, if I can tune that out in the same, pull that up in the same way, I'm just training my ear in a different way. A lot of what I do is teach, yes, how to listen and listen more astutely, differently to music, more than just, it's a good tune, catchy melody, I like it, it makes me feel good, but let's pull it apart and let's hear what's under the undercurrents. And from there you can naturally then start to express yourself.